everyone, welcome back to our channel startuplanes.com. I'm Namrata and I'm taking interviews of the CEOs and founders of several innovative startups in India. In today's interview, I'll be talking to Tasneem and Rahman. Both once were engineers and now are the co-founders of Auto Rahman. Gurgaon based startup Auto Rahman is a hyper-local clicks to bricks model pre-owned cars venture. The startup aims to solve the used car enigma at the grassroots level with the help of technology and innovation for a highly fragmented ecosystem in the used car space. You want to know more about this business? Let's get into the video.
Hello, welcome to today's interview. I'm Namrata Sarkar and I will be taking the interview. So if you could kindly introduce yourself to the audience one by one.
Sure. Thank you, Namrata. We are also honored to be here. It is a kind of a social validation for us also to be here on Startup Lane with you guys. And this actually, in a sense, condones and underlines our efforts that we are making and progressing towards scaling our startup, trying to solve some really interesting problems in the used car market industry. And so quickly, I'd like to introduce who am I. I'm Rahman. I'm a co-founder and CEO with Auto Rahman. Auto Rahman is essentially a resilient 6-year-old startup into used car business. And we are trying to tackle some typical problems in used car space, which buyers and sellers are facing on a day-to-day basis when somebody goes to buy a used car, for example, or tries to sell a used car. So prior to this startup, I was working with various automobile dealerships in Delhi and NCR. I was chief operating officer with one of the very reputed Maruti Suzuki dealership. And after having resigned from my job, then I started this journey of our startup. Tasneem is my co-founder.
Hi Namrata, thank you for having us with you. So I'm Tasneem and I and Rahman, we have known each other for almost 2 decades now. We are engineering batchmates. I have also completed my MBA in finance from SPJIMR in Mumbai. At Auto Rahman, I'm looking after finance, strategy and operation among other things. I've had my stint in the corporate world starting with Balco, Bharat Aluminium Company Limited, GMR Airport, then Bharti Realty, before going for my MBA and then joining Auto Rahman. So Auto Rahman, basically it is an e-commerce market player in the used car space. We are a slightly managed marketplace experiment wherein we are trying to find ways of helping buyers and sellers in the used car segment. Ours is a vertically integrated model, and we are helping our customers and also the incumbents in the used car industry. We are also providing various allied services along with this, as in we are helping the customers to provide finance facility, loans facility, insurance, RTO services, roadside assistance, warranty services, post-sale services, and also we have an in-house workshop wherein we are looking after post-sales services in the this thing, and also we are taking up the refurbishment also of the vehicles.
Okay, well that sounds interesting. I'd like to know more from you guys that how did you come up with the idea of the startup?
See, honestly, Auto Rahman, the brand in the current form, we started in 2014. Although this idea, before we started Auto Rahman in the current form, we were also experimenting with a different brand called Dr. Loan. Dr. Loan was more of a used car loan player, wherein we were helping people who wanted to buy a loan on a used car, because used car transaction itself is complicated and used car loan transaction is more complicated. So we developed this idea for a couple of years, and then we ventured out into various other experiments in the used car market space. Thus we started Auto Rahman in 2014. Honestly, the journey and the seeds of this idea, they have been sown well and deep in, I believe, 2009, when Tasneem and I were cheated in a used car deal. And I was general manager sales then with one of the very reputed Maruti dealership at that time. Tasneem wanted to buy a car, and we both went on and we tried to find out. I thought I was the master and the expert into the industry in 2009. but I was not. We got cheated and we found a lemon for ourselves. We still have that car with us. But yes, since then we decided somehow it sowed the seed deep in that it has to change, because the gullible buyers do not have to get cheated at the hands of the ecosystem. So it kept boiling on and off amongst us. And finally, when we started Auto Reman, so this is probably we are inching towards closing our much cherished dream. And today also we have the same kind of approach towards our customers also, that whenever they are planning or venturing into a used car, so they should not feel cheated, and they should have a more than high experience overall when they are going for used cars.
All right. So now you're talking about the difficulties you faced as a buyer during that experience of yours. So what, as the founders of Auto Reman, what are the difficulties that you had faced in the initial stages of the start?
So basically, it was not an easy journey for us, but it was worth taking the plunge. And like I said, that the most difficult part was to leave our cushy corporate jobs and take that plunge, get into that boat of entrepreneurship, and face uncertainties on a day-to-day basis. So it's very easy. Not very easy, but then it is comparatively easy to be in a job, and you have a set time of working. Then you go back to home at the end of the month. You have your salaries in place. But when you are into this journey of a startup, you are working day in and day out. There is no limit to the amount of work or time you are putting in, and maybe at the end of the month you are left with nothing. Maybe you have not earned anything except for the experience, which many times comes from the failures. But then the excitement of getting into this journey, because the amount of challenges it brings, because the amount of challenges there and the experiences that it brings, it was worth taking that plunge. So this was from the personal front. Apart from this, on the professional front, what we faced was keeping ourselves bootstrapped all the time. So we had sleepless nights thinking about how to keep our finances in place, how to keep the payrolls rolling, and then we had to look out for making tie-ups with the strategic partners. Also, then apart from this, we had to also make our customer base people who could repose their faith into our business, into our product, into our services, and all such things that took a lot of time, lot of effort. But I think we have been very satisfied with the overall experience that we've had so far.
Okay, so like you are talking about the journey, while setting out on that journey, could you identify any market gap that your product had to fit in?
Honestly, the market was, it was a lot of a friction market. There were a lot of gaps, not one but a dime a dozen. I can keep going on this. But honestly, it was not unexpected in a market of used cars, which is largely fragmented and unorganized. So it was quite expected in such a marketplace. And in fact, this was precisely the reason that we thought of leaving our good job and started jumping into it. Seriously, there is a lot of cost of opportunity for an entrepreneur to be in a business and leaving their corporate job, because the startup guys, they are not run-of-the-mill guys. They are somehow always on top of the line. I'm not saying we are top of the line, but most of the time entrepreneurs are top of the line and in their corporate careers. So when we saw a lot of gaps in the industry, a lot of friction was happening at almost all the value points. So we decided to plunge on it. So majorly, I can summarize some of them. For example, customer had sloppy experiences when they were going for traditional curbside dealers. Customer had less than good experiences when they were going for used cars selling, and there was a high risk of customer getting cheated, as well as the chances of getting a bad vehicle. They did not know how to evaluate the vehicle, and a lot of such difficulty in finding correct prices for while I'm buying or I'm selling. So these were all the market gaps that we realized, and we slowly and certainly, with the help of technology, our own efforts, and some niche iteration, we realized that we have been able to solve to a great extent of this problem, which is actually reposed by a lot of our customers into this. We have an aggregate turnover of, like in the last 6 years, close to 50 crores INR. And a lot of our customers have posed faith into us, and thus it has been a tremendous journey.
Well, congratulations on your turnover. Also, I would like to ask you that if I was a potential buyer, but I had limited knowledge in this domain, how do you explain your business model to me?
Oh, that's excellent. See, this is our hobby horse. The idea is very simple. I mean, the simpler the idea, it is more important and more difficult to arrive at. So the idea is very simple. For example, used car is a huge and gigantic market. Close to 50 lakh transactions take place a year in India itself, out of which hardly 15 to 10% are organized. So what I mean to say is almost 40 lakh transactions are happening every year, wherein people are buying and selling amongst themselves. So Auto Rahman in Gurgaon is an e-commerce setup, which is essentially a marketplace with the objective of solving these problems in this space. And after having experimented for 5-6 years into this, now we have evolved into a business model, which is essentially, I'll put 5 keywords into it: e-commerce, marketplace, following a disintermediation approach. Means we want to get ourselves out of the stream of business wherein buyers and seller interact themselves, and we facilitate the whole business chain. That's the whole business idea behind this.
Okay. So I would also like to know, which segment of the population are you targeting?
So Namrata, we are basically targeting everyone who's wanting to get into this thing, who wants to buy or sell their used cars, but at the moment they are not very sure about it because of various reasons. They can range from having trust deficit among themselves, or getting an inferior or dubious product, and then they can also have an overall bad experience. So this is where Auto Rahman pitches in. We smoothen out the process for them by facilitating transactions, with helping them with finance and loan facilities, RC transfer, as I said earlier, insurance, and a host of allied services wherein they don't have to run from pillar to post. Everything is managed by us. They only have to see the vehicle, like the vehicle, and the transaction happens.
So in a nutshell, our target group is anybody who has got anything to do with cars. There is a straight demand of buying and selling of used cars. But right now what is happening, only the people who are more streetwise, they are coming into this. But essentially those people who are not that street smart, they don't have to be street smart, in our words, I'll say. They just have to have an intention to buy a good used car. This is all they want. See, if you have seen the Harry Potter movie, there are mugglus and then there are wizards. So wizards only venture out into the used car space. We want this process to be so simple and so smoothly integrated digitally that even so-called mugglus can also come and venture out into the used car segment. So target segment is everybody who has got anything to do with the cars. That is the larger cross-section that we are targeting.
Sounds interesting. Also, since this auto industry is huge and growing every day, so if you had to distinguish your products and services from the rest of your competitors, how would you do that?
Oh, that's interesting. See, automobile industry per se and used car these days, after so much VC money is flowing into this market, it's a bloodbath market out here. It's a huge and gigantic opportunity, still waiting to be tapped. I mean, it has not improved to a great extent in the last 10 years, but in the immediate 5 years, if we see after 2014, there has been a lot of activity into used car market. Ranging from different types of business model. People are approaching through B2B, B2C, C2C, and all sort of permutations on this. Car24, Car Dekho, OLX, Gaadi.com, etc. Many different models have approached this. And honestly, they have just been able to scratch the tip of the iceberg, I'll see it this way. Because I believe this is more of an elephant in the dark room kind of a problem. You hold the tail of the elephant, it looks like it's a rope. You hold the leg of the elephant, you feel that like it's a tree. But this is not the holistic approach to this problem. And that's why the market still remains largely unorganized. And how we pursue all these approaches is not necessarily in the form of a competition. I mean, we don't see themselves as a threat to our existence. There is huge scope, a lot of scope to be organized and developed. So we essentially see all these startups and all these so-called competitors as part of the larger jigsaw puzzle, sort of pieces of this jigsaw puzzle who are trying to resolve the whole ecosystem. And in fact, it betters. How Autoremon differentiates itself is by technological intervention and disintermediation. We want larger part of the whole journey of a used car buyer and seller to be digitized with the help of tech, and more so in the case of pandemic when people are shying away from coming to the showroom and all. So essentially, it's not competitors. I'll say they're all the part of the ecosystem.
Right, understood. Also, coming to the part of your business, that is the employment sector. If I was a potential employee at your firm or startup, and I ask you in the interview that, so why should I join you and not some XYZ company? What should your answer be?
So mostly till date, what I have seen, this question is always the other way around. Generally, the employees do not get to ask such questions. But in any case, I'll answer that. So whenever an employee is joining any organization, he or she is looking for the culture which she is going to get in the organization. So here at Autoremon, we provide that right kind of culture and ethos. And we have a very flat organization. There is no hierarchy in our organization. So we sit together, we work together, we eat together. In the back of our office, we have one very big round table. And at lunchtime, everybody is eating there together. We as founders, all our employees, we are eating together. There is no such thing that people will of different hierarchy will eat separately. Also, we respect age, but then we do not promote this culture of referring to each other by sir or madam. We like to be called by our first names. And we also have a lot of get-togethers, after office moments, after office meetings also, so that employees get to know each other. They build a personal rapport amongst each other also, and also with the founders. We are always open to our employees. Anybody can come to us. They don't have to think twice before walking up to us to discuss their problems or anything like that.
In fact, these were the major reasons why we started in the first place. I mean, we have developed a pretty cool and professional culture in our organization, and our employees love it that way, and we also love it this way.
Also, since we both are hands-on on almost all the operations in our setup, right from you ask us anything, we'll be able to do anything. So this is the kind of culture we want to promote among our employees also, that they should not be limited to one particular section of their work. They should not be doing the same kind of work each and every day. If they want, they can explore other opportunities also within the organization. They should be people should be all-rounder. I mean,
and in fact, this is the most important part of being in a startup. I mean, you get exposure to so many things because less number of people are doing too many things at the same time. So this is the whole essential part of being in startup, isn't it?
Sounds like agreeable totally. So also, you will also agree to one statement that startup becomes successful once it has the traction it wants to get. So if you could also kindly share your experience, your startup's experience on getting the kind of traction till date.
So look, over the last 6 years, we have built upon our capabilities, and we cater to a lot of gamma services to our customers, ranging from, we have tie-ups with all the major banks and NBFCs for finance. Then we have tie-ups with insurance companies, RTO tie-ups. We also have tie-ups for roadside assistance and warranty services. We have tied up with Mahindra First Choice. Apart from this, we have been able to, through incremental innovation, we have been able to achieve an aggregate turnover of around INR 50 CR. And we have been able to raise some very successful funds, which till date we are equity free. And these were all debt loans. And we, in the heart of Gurgaon, we have a very big office. It is of 25,000 square feet. It's a huge place, and wherein we have provided the best of services and the best of experience that we possibly could to our customers and consumers.
In fact, we are a bit positive since, normally the startups, but the bootstrap startups have this unique ability to have a high growth as well as be a bit positive. So this is one of the most important things that we've been able to achieve. We have raised close to 6 crore INR in the form of non-equity capital from various strategic investors or in the form of debt facilities by various organizations.
Understood. So also I would like to know that have you guys planned any short-term or long-term goals for the company ahead?
Yeah, sure. In fact, what is happening is right now, after the pandemic has happened 2 years back, so people's movement got hurt badly. In fact, automobile and mobility sector was the one which took biggest hits, and along with travel. What happened is in this time, in fact, COVID, although it has been a very bad experience for many people in our country and globally, but it has also helped one thing. COVID has penetrated the technology deeper. It has given an opportunity for many organizations to look deeper into technology and find ways to easing it out. So we also, as a part of our COVID response strategies in the last 2 years, we have been working on great technological innovations, including an app and various ways to devise a strategy wherein most of the part of the whole used car journey of a buyer or seller can be taken care of digitally. Although used car is definitely a territorial business, you have to see the vehicle, kick the tires, and then you finally take the call on that. But we have been intermediating with the technology layers, technology stacks on this, and trying to organize it this way so that larger part of the whole transaction takes place digitally and less part has to be offline in that sense. So this is our first thing that we have been able to achieve, and this is what we are projecting into next.
Understood. Also, you would agree to the fact that when a startup wants to expand exponentially, having enough funds is an important factor that plays a crucial role. So if you could also walk me through the funding scenario at your company, like have you previously raised external funds or you are planning to in the near future?
That's a very wise words you have mentioned, that any startup, it needs fuel in the form of funds. So nobody knows us better than us because we have bootstrapped ourselves for 6 years and we only know how the journey has been like. So when you see 2014, when we started, not many VCs were interested into going in for a asset-based used car model. It sounded pretty ridiculous to some of them. How are you going to organize it? But now various different combinations and permutations models have creeped in. And in this period itself, since we have been able to kind of leverage and improve our own credit worthiness in front of the banks and NBFCs, so we've been able to raise the debt funds, as I told you earlier, in the form of debt, which is non-equity. Our cap table is clean at the moment. We have raised close to 6 CR, north of 6 CR. And it has all been in the form of debt, majority of which has been paid off as well. So this is how we have transgressed our bootstrap journey.
All right. Also, one question from my personal side, not from this questionnaire, is that since the pandemic hit us, every startup has kind of suffered, and some has gained, some has had suffered losses. So how have you motivated yourselves as well as the workforce you have to keep going even through the pandemic?
Honestly, this was a really difficult time. Many of our people in our staff, in our peer group, they have personally or professionally suffered on this. In fact, I am personally at loss. I lost my mother in COVID too. And it was a really difficult time for most of our staffers also. And when I look back and think about those times, it is very harrowing. But then that is the quality of life. The show must go on. So we always encourage our staff. We have got them vaccinated, all of them. we take care of their family lives, what is happening at their family end. We keep conducting workshop and sessions at our offices in order to educate them on COVID appropriate behaviors. And we have also responsibility causes, which I think is out of the purview of this interview. But yes, we have been doing our bit in terms of helping the society at large, whatever our small bit we can do.
Right. Lastly, I would like to know what are your thoughts on Startup Planes?
Startup Lane has been one of our favorite social media platform, and in fact a media agency. Shishir has been a rock star for us. We have been following Shishir for quite some time. Especially we really loved how he has been an angel in front of many needy people during the pandemic time when he came forward and recruited a lot of people. And I remember one incident when there was a guy who was going through a bad time. He lost his father, and he was posting desperately on social media that I'm in the second year of my engineering. Shishir was the guy who came up and he recruited him straight up in digital marketing. Handled. I remember.
I know.
This is something almost all of us startup should always look forward to it. That getting rich fast or being in the glam light, all these things are okay, but they are very transient. The real value and real satisfaction comes from what you give back to the society.
That is the main thing. You will become a social cause attached to your organization, and that is what appeals to us. And it is very inspiring for us also, because at one point in time when we grow, and these are some of the examples which we see and we benefit from, and these are inspirations which we can take forward and replicate in our own organization also.
So kudos to Shishir. All the best to you guys.
Okay, well, that would bring an end to this session, but it was lovely talking to you guys. Thank you for taking out time and joining me. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Lovely talking.
Thank you, Namrata.